Hey guys, it's Cal again. Today we're going to program new blank keys into our Honda ignition security system for our VFR800. This works on any VFR from 2002 through to 2009. The process is the same. There's a couple of things you're going to need. One is what's called the ghetto programming lead. This is essentially two wires that plug into your battery, positive and negative. In the middle of that is underneath here, you can't see it, is a 1 watt 100R carbon resistor, which looks like this. One of these. A couple of cents at your local electronics shop. And we're going to plug this cable with red going to yellow and negative going to white into the crank position sensor on our bike, the one that heads to the ECU. Now I'm lucky because I've got an old dud crank sensor which I don't really want anymore, so I've managed to cut the lead off and get the plug here, which is the same as this one that's on the bike, and plug it in. If you don't have that, you'll have to use something like very small alligator pins to connect to this side of the connector, very small alligator clips that is. I had some little tiny ones like this, but it's a bit risky. If they short circuit, you'll effectively short circuit the battery and blow the wires, maybe damage your ECU. You probably should have a fuse in line here. I don't, bit naughty. But essentially this wire here replaces a very expensive Honda tool. So what else do we need? We need a key. A key that's cut to the lock with a blank chip in it. Now you can see the chip in there. I bought these keys cut without chips in, so they were just hollow, and then I went and bought for $38 a pack of 10 of these. These are ignition ID chips, transponder chips, which are programmable. The ECU programs these. Now these are blank, except for the fact that they've been pre-coded with what's called ID46, which is the Honda ID. If they're not pre-coded to ID46, then you can't program them, and if they're not blank, i.e. they've been programmed previously to a different ECU, you also cannot program them. So you definitely need a blank key. You can get these with a blank chip in them for about $25–30 depending on when the eBay sellers are around, or $50 from local suppliers in Australia. However, I got two keys without chips for $20. I had them cut by sending a high-res picture of my existing key, like so. I sent these off to a place in the UK, and they cut them based on that image. And then I went and bought the blank chips. Now you've got to make sure these chips don't fall out, of course. You have to silicon them in eventually. But yeah, so that's what you get. You need a key cut to the right shape and blank ID transponder chips. Once you've got that, you're ready to program. So let's get into it. Alright, we're ready to program. I've got my ghetto lead plugged in at this end. I'm now going to plug my ghetto lead into the battery. Always start with your negative. Connect it up here to the battery connector. Then take your positive. Connect it to the positive terminal carefully. Alright, that's it, we're ready to go. Next, you must have your currently working programmed key in the bike. You turn it on, what should happen is your HISS light should come on and stay on solid. So you see it's flashing right now, which is quite normal. I'm going to turn the bike on. The bike will not prime the fuel rail and the HISS light should stay on. And must not flash. If the HISS light flashes, there's something wrong. Got to start again. Okay, so it's on. Next thing to do is to take our positive wire and disconnect this for no less than 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now reconnect it, and our HISS light should flash for 4 seconds. If not, we're to start it again. It didn't flash. Let's try that again. There it goes. So that 4 flashes, what that means is that the security codes have been erased, the key registration's been erased, and then we have now re-registered this key. So this key is now re-registered to the ECU. So we turn the ignition off, take that key out, move it far away from the bike so it won't get confused. Take one of our new blank keys, put it in the ignition, and turn the ignition back on. And it must also flash for 4 seconds. 2, 3, 4. 4 flashes. Let's confirm that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, it's programmed. Turn it off. If we want to program another key, we take the other key. Repeat that process. This key's a bit badly cut, but it does work. It's not a perfect key. Let me try that again. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Programmed. Turn it off. We're all good. Now, disconnect our ghetto lead. 1, 2. Remove our ghetto lead connector from the ECU. Plug in our actual crank position sensor back into the ECU. Click. And let's try starting with our new key. Away we go. 1. Second key programmed. Working fine. Original key. And just to prove I'm not messing with you, let's take one of our new keys and start it up. All good. Nice and simple.